Welcome. We are your hosts, Chris and Tammy.
In this podcast, we dive into the mindset for networking strategies and skills you'll need to build a solid foundation to build a global business.
We've built a multi-million-dollar business and have mentored thousands of people around the globe in the last 25 years.
Yeah, how do we handle the ups and downs of life, in life and in business, right? So what are your thoughts in the first subject?
I just have to say that I've always focused on what could be, the possibility of what could be if you focus on the right activities, focus on the right things in life, whether it's business or in family or whatever, in relationships, is always to focus on the best possibility outcome that could happen if you put some efforts towards making things better, right? So that's been my trick, I guess you could say, my secret, my trick on how I've been able to stay focused and move forward.
I agree with Tammy. As a matter of fact, if I think of the challenges we're facing, dealing with our businesses, dealing with life, dealing with our all the different situations that the governments are imposing on hardworking people like you and I. How do I deal with this? And Tammy is right in line, and she's absolutely correct. I always focus on the outcome, the outcome results that I desire. This is what I focus on. So when I wake up in the morning and, sometimes we have these discomfort and these fears and things that occurs, what I do is I think of the desired outcome on my goal. And I focus my thoughts on as if I have it already.
Exactly.
Which in many cases, Tammy, I've reached so many of our goals. We're living the dream that most people want to try to achieve.
Yeah.
So I focused on that, but I also focus on the possibilities of tomorrow. And this is really important because the moment you do that, it's very interesting, but the problem becomes less and less dominant in your mind. And I'm not going to deny that I speak to God all the time. I mean, I don't know about you, but he's like my best friend, right? We're constantly communicating. And it's really interesting how fast, a negative feeling or a negative thought just evaporates like thin air if you focus on what matters and focus on what you want opposed to what you don't have, opposed to what you don't want. And I think most people, what they do is they focus all their time and energy on what is not going right, what they don't want. And there's a saying, what you think about expands. So if all you think about is what you don't want and what you don't like, guess what? This is what it's going to look like. What are your thoughts on that?
Exactly. So the key is when you're in the moment, focus on where you want to go and bring that into the now. And live it as if it's already happening, and then do the things, actions, that will move you towards that big vision, that big goal, that big lifestyle that you've been always dreaming about. And vision boards for me has been, I brought it into reality. That's the bottom line. And as we achieve things, I always add new things. We never settle with what we have. So many people say, well, you guys got a great life. Why don't you just live that life? Because there's always more. There's always better. We can always do more. And Chris and I, we're always thinking about other people as well. We're making the example of living that life, but we're always thinking about how can we help other people get to the lives that they've always wanted, get to the dreams that they always wanted. And for those of you who know us, know that we're extremely passionate about health, because again, if you can have all the money in the world, and we know people who have had all the money in the world, they're no longer with us. So
or they're alone.
Or they're alone and they're not happy. We've seen that too. So it's a combination, right? It's to live that best healthy life and to be able to live an abundant life at the same time. Happiness, joy, all of that comes together.
And the last point I think it's important to keep in mind here is, instead of focusing on what you need and what you want, Focus on serving.
Yes.
This is what Tammy and I have been doing for decades. We constantly serve. This is what we do. In fact, 2 weeks ago, we were standing on top of a pyramid, right? Right in
Cancun.
No, that was
that was in Merida.
Merida, Mexico.
Yeah, that's right.
And we talked about that, right? We're in the business of serving, and it's crazy how humble you become when you serve people, and the people you serve achieve.
Yes.
It is so rewarding.
It is.
Focus on these thoughts. Focus on this direction when things don't go your way. It's just unbelievable how a situation in your mind could improve on focusing in serving others opposed to what's not happening for me, what's missing for me.
Yeah.
I work so hard, but I'm not getting what I should be getting based on all the work that I put out. Don't focus there. Focus on serving others. And I'm telling you, when you do that, people appreciate you. And it's interesting, it creates a very interesting karma where you're never gonna suffer financially when you serve others.
Yes.
That's an understatement. So this is how Tammy and I handle adversity. We don't focus on the problem. We focus on the dream. We focus on the goal. We focus on helping others. And that is the key to how we handle the objections that we all come through, that we're all facing on a daily basis. So on that note,
Be
I want to thank
grateful.
you.
Yes.
Be grateful, and we'll talk to you next week on our next session. Bye for now.